All right, everybody. As promised, we are here with our guest from the UFC this week, Ryan Spann, joining us from what looks to be like the kitchen with the bonnet on. So I appreciate I appreciate you taking this time out. You have to make sure everything is right.
Oh
You look,
yeah,
the beard is looking luxurious right there. I know the bonnet's protecting the hairstyle.
yeah.
It's
It's protecting from y'all for y'all. Y'all don't need to see this. This
yeah,
is
yeah.
if I take this thing off, like man, you been licking light sockets or
It's all right. As long
something.
as it's good by Saturday, you are fine.
We straight. We straight
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, man. Nah, thank you for talking to us. We're at the crib too. Usually we're in studio. I'm at the crib
Oh,
right
nice,
now. So
nice,
it's all right.
nice.
We're on the same wavelength here. You're preparing for a big fight though. I don't got to fight this weekend. uh how do you feel like heading into this one? Because you were really, it felt like you were kind of on a roll, like you were getting your footing and everything leading into last year. And then, two fights don't go your way in back-to-back fights. But it seemed like, man, like you were really figuring it out. How do you feel
Yes.
now? And did you take a little extra time to just get back in the lab and tweak a little stuff?
That's honestly why it's been so long, if I'm being real with you, is to get, like you said, get back in the lab. And that's what we've been doing, focusing on staying consistent, and kind of working on my dedication to my craft because those are things that I've been lacking, which kind of showed in some of the disciplinary things that you'll see where he's like, all right, he's lacking here or there. So I took that time off for that reason.
How much does that little bit matter, right? Like when you're in these fights, what's that little bit of like that lapse of, man, if I would just locked in, I could have had this finish, or I wouldn't have got caught in that position. How small is that margin of error?
Man, minuscule, man. I'm telling you, it's like that. Like, you got to be quick, and especially at the higher levels and like seeing these rank guys and stuff now. You got to be on at all times because they're so good now they can capitalize at any point in time. So you got to stay locked in and focused the entire 15 to 25 minutes, whatever it is.
Being in the light heavyweight division, we've seen so much change in that division over the past 2 years. Do you look at it like, man, like I'm back. If I could just figure this out, I'm like two fights away because we just saw obviously a title fight defense, but you get a guy who's brand as new to the division wins the belt in one fight. You got a
Right,
guy like, Jamal Hill, where people weren't, they knew how dangerous he was, but no one was looking at him like a champion. He gets in there, he knocks someone out. Like,
right.
there's the belt has changed hands, I think, 5 times over the past 3 years in that
Uh,
division. So being in that, does that like excite you? Like, yo, it's wide open.
I'm not gonna say it excites me. I really more so want to focus on me because in my goals, it's once I get that thing, I don't want to let it go until I want to let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I ain't trying to do all the change of hands and all that. So really, I just focus on me and doing the best I can with what I've got, and God bless me with a lot. So, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to learn how to use it.
What's your immediate goals then for this fight? Because you've been in the gym fine tuning and you're coming back in. What do you want to see from yourself that's different than maybe we haven't even seen before?
I want to see me get in there and be present and allow God to use me. And where I'm feeling physically now, it's one less thing I really have to worry about. Like it's hard for me to explain it, so I don't really get into how I was before,
Yeah.
because a lot of people start looking. But either way, just the way I feel now is one less thing I got to worry about. So really, I just want to get in there and stay present, stay consistent with the work I've been doing, and get the job done.
It's interesting that you say that, like the specific phrasing, right? Where you're like, yo, I just want to be present, let God use me. Because we just came off of slightly different sport, but it's combat, where we see Ryan Garcia go in the ring against Devin Haney, and everything that was outside is outside, and whatever he did before the fight and everything.
Exactly.
But through the stuff that he said and what he was doing the entire way, he was like, yo, God got me. Like
Yeah.
he was not worried about a thing. He was like, if I go in there and I'm right with God, I'm just go in there and God take care of it. After the
I,
fight, he was like,
I admire that
God
about
guides
him.
my, yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, God guided my left hand. He's like, so when he
Yeah,
touched him, I had nothing to worry about.
yeah.
How, like, it seems like he's kind of had that, well, regardless of whatever else he did, he had that kind of enlightenment and that trust and that faith. How much does that change a fighter? How much does that change you where you got that faith of, you know what, if I'm in there, I'm good.
It affects your confidence different. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I know with me, I had anxiety and all that stuff real bad. And when I'm trying to take care of myself, it just got worse. And when I just give it to God, I realize it's less for me to worry about. You know, like as a matter of fact, this shirt, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's something I live by, and that's something I've been trying to practice more because it is a practice. And the more I practice that, the better I feel like I'll be on fight night, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. It's something where we see, and it's kind of been like taboo for athletes to kind of speak about their faith, right? Like a lot of, and if we're being like honest, like a lot of black athletes speaking about their faith has been looked down upon a lot of
Yeah,
times, whether it's, Christian like John Jones or something, and people be like, yo, that's a front, that's fake. Or
yeah,
it may be like, Muslim faith or, Islam or something like that. People would judge them on that because they come up and be like, first and foremost, I want to thank God. People are like,
yeah,
oh, here go again.
yeah. Here you
But
go.
yeah, it's something where I feel like a lot of fighters, they lean into that and it gives strength. Do you feel like you're a different fighter because of, you know, really that faith than you were even 3, 4 years ago? Well, going into what you were back then.
Yeah. I mean, even then, I was saying when I've been saying this every time somebody gave me a mic since I was an amateur,
Yeah.
and I ain't gonna, there's been a handful of times where I've been like, but I do want that to be known because I mean, honestly, it ain't even about how people look at you and or I one thing I admire about Ryan Garcia, like I've realized that I might hate seeing him fight, but when he touched people, oh my goodness. But I love the fact that one thing is he's unapologetically him. And that's one thing I've been kind of going towards myself so I can see it in him or other people. Like as long as you be you, I really don't care what other people say. So that what people think really don't affect me because me being here, I'm not for the world. So everybody's not going to get me, and that's one thing I had to learn. I'm not going to make everybody happy, and that's I had to let that go. You know what I'm saying?
In a machine like the UFC, because it's so much more than just being an MMA fighter, how hard is it to have that mindset of I'm just going to be unapologetically me? Because honestly, getting to the top or who gets this fight or some person, you might have to fight and work your way up through the ranks, but another guy might get it from the ninth spot. Like, does that something that weighs on you where it's like, yo, I could put on a
No,
persona and I could probably get to the belt in like 2 fights, but I gotta be me and
yeah.
maybe it'll be a tougher road.
You know what's crazy is once people that know me versus like what I let y'all see. You know, and that's another thing. When I took this time off, I told myself I'm gonna go ahead and start talking, especially as long as like because I don't like talking to media, and really it's because I don't know y'all. You know,
That's fair. Like,
like I don't know y'all, so I don't really like talking to nobody I don't know because what I've done so far in my life was almost an accident. Like I've just been living my life, and here I am, uh, getting ready to fight in the UFC. Like it's crazy to me because tomorrow is my wife's birthday, and her that's also the day I had my very first fight ever in 2010, I think. So, like to say I went from there to here now, like that was like almost a smoker type show in Louisiana. That was in like venting with the club, people smoking, and like we got to go fight on they had like dirt, and we had to walk across. They put some little pallets down or whatever to
yeah.
walk across the dirt to the little ring because it was a bull riding ring too, and they just put a ring in there. Oh man, it was terrible. It was terrible. But to go from there to here, like for me, it was almost an accident. Like I didn't necessarily. I always knew I was something. I knew I was going to be something. I knew I was going to do something. I knew I was blessed. and I didn't necessarily manage it the right way always. And to see that I've made it to where I've made it, and almost not even trying because I didn't like the. So that's why I don't be on social media, man. Because I was like, I ain't know that was gonna be all that. Like, I ain't for all that. You know, like
Yeah.
if you're gonna know me, you're gonna know me. And then once like other people started to come and voice their opinions, that's stuff I don't necessarily need. You know what I'm saying?
First, happy birthday to your wife, of
No,
course.
thank you, thank
Uh,
you.
but yeah, like when you say that, and obviously, like a lot of people, it came to a point where a lot of people have an opinion on you. And how hard was it to shut that out and focus on family, fighting, everything else? Because social media, you can try to get away, but it seems like it chases people
Oh
at a time.
yeah,
Like how
yeah,
hard is it to tune that out and just be like, yo, this I know who I am. People who love me know who I am. I just got to
yeah.
focus on that.
It took me a while. I'd say it took me not even just in the social media realms of stuff. Like once I moved to Texas, and it was a little different for me. Like I went from living in Mississippi where everybody knew everybody and we were all cool to being on the island by myself. So I basically end up, developing a introverted, personality a little bit. And so like with all this stuff, people just the voices just got louder basically like social media. Usually it didn't matter when, I had social media on like 300, 400 people maybe. and and most of them was family, which is the only
Family.
reason. Like
Yeah.
matter of fact, my IG, my wife started my IG. I ain't even want that job. My wife started that. Yeah, like I don't even use them, but I'm out to let her. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about letting her run that because I know there's a way it can be used and monetized and stuff like that. But it's the people that hide behind the screen. That's why I was like, I don't mind talking to media if we get an introduction and I know you. You're like,
Yeah.
hey, who you writing for or whatever, you let me know and we can talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be hard because I get people messaging me. It ain't gonna work like that. Like, we gotta
Yeah.
talk, dog.
Yeah.
You better know somebody.
Yeah. Shout out
but
to
but
UFC
yeah,
PR.
hey, facts.
All my people over
No,
there.
you good. You good though. You good
Yeah.
though. I told it's really just trying to cut down the noise, and once I figured out how to tame that, and it took me a while to be honest with you, just because I wasn't used to it, so I wasn't really expecting it. So when it hit me hard, especially when you're winning. Everybody loves you, and I spent a lot of time winning. Dropped a couple,
Yeah.
and especially when people start betting. Oh man, people start betting. It was
Just crazy. Like, you lost
Yeah,
me. Like, what do you
man,
mean? I
bro.
don't know
Hey,
you. Like,
bro, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You gonna get me when you up. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, exactly. That's people really feel that invested. Like social media definitely makes that bridge between fans, fighters,
Yeah.
athletes a lot smaller. Going into this fight, then what's your goals now in terms of when you look at this fight and you're just very focused, obviously getting back on the winning track, going there, but even in the immediate, like what do you hope to get from this fight on Saturday that's really going to change? Because it just talking to you here, it seems like you've changed so much. Like you're willing to do these interviews, you're willing to talk to people, you're sharing that it's your wife's birthday. Like there's a lot of good personality there, right? There's stuff that people want to know, which is why you've been in the UFC for so long or fighting for so long. So what's gonna happen? What do you hope happens from this fight as something's running around the house?
Fly.
Oh, yo,
I
when I
I
tell
hate
you,
flies, dog. Hey, look, I be hunting flies, dog, and I'm trying to be
I
still.
I saw
I'm
the
gonna be real.
country come out of you. That's that's that back country, like you at the cookout. Like your uncle just talking, and he just catch a fly like this. Wow, just one hand.
Hey,
Wow.
I'll try not to. I done took about two of them. This just flying right here. I'm sorry, dog. I missed the last part of your
No, you
question,
good.
man.
Like, what do you hope that this fight does for
Okay,
you,
I
man?
got you. I
Like,
got you.
like this
First and
fight
foremost,
specifically.
first and foremost, I gotta win. Like we're winning. Uh, Anything past that, I honestly hadn't really thought too much into it. Like I said, I'm excited to see what God gonna do to me because I know the work that I've put in, and I trust the work, and that's a first for me. I ain't gonna say it first. It happened in New York. I
Yeah.
felt good. Uh, I mean, a couple other times, but like this is one of the ones where I was like, I really like I've been training for a while, and like that ain't something I do. Like, like when I told you, man, when I told you, I
Yeah,
know I'm blessed. I've always had that mentality, so now I know how to put the work with what God gave me, and so now we're gonna see. You know what I'm saying?
man, can't wait.
They
Can't
said
wait to see.
faith without work is dead, and I put in the work. So, you
Man,
know what I'm saying?
can't wait to see it on Saturday. Last question, let you out of here. You win the 50K bonus, you get a knockout. What are you buying your wife for her birthday? I know it's her bonus, by the way. What are you getting her for her birthday when you get this bonus?
Oh, so that one's tricky because I'm fighting right in the middle of my wife's birthday, which is tomorrow, and my son's birthday, which is May 1st.
Ooh,
So yeah, matter of fact, that's why I'm walking out to the song I'm walking out to first of the month. And I play it every year
okay.
for his
Yeah.
birthday. Yeah, I wake him up, wake up, wake up,
Go
wake up.
wake
It's
up.
the
It's the
first.
first of the month.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I don't know, man. Like I said, I really hadn't thought too much into. We kind of been as a family laser focused. I told him, I said, everybody do everything we need to do to get through this as a family because I said we teams fan. Like
Yeah.
as a we team, my wife, my mom, my three kids, my brother. You know, right now I think my mom, wife, and kids are at home. So usually we're all either together somewhere in some sort of fashion. But I was like, hey, all of the work that we're doing now, which were months ago, leads up to what we're gonna do in a couple of days. And I was like, y'all take care of y'all business, do what y'all want to do. Daddy, was y'all? We're gonna do something. I don't know
Yeah.
what, but I hadn't really thought that far because right now we got 27 on our brain, and then after that we'll sort the rest out, when we get home that night.
Man, I like it. I like it. Can't wait to watch you fight this weekend. I feel the energy. I feel like it's good. I feel like you're gonna have a highlight night.
I
And yeah, the
appreciate it.
best is yet to come, man. I appreciate
Yeah.
you, everyone. Ryan Spann chopping it up with us.
Oh, for
And
sure.
whenever you see a man show up in a body, you know he ready for something. He ready to throw
You
hands.
listen,
Look
listen, son.
at with the bee
Listen,
bonnet
son.
on,
You
or
know what I'm saying?
little something.
Hey,
He ready.
float like a butterfly, sting like an eagle, man.
He's ready, man. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it.
I can appreciate it, man.